So classes of algae we had stopped. So there are three classes: chlorophyceae, green algae. So chloro means chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is green. That's why it is green algae. Pheophyceae, brown algae, and rhodophyceae is red algae. So we'll have to study all these three separately. Detail in chlorophyceae. Then we have to see what is pheophyceae and rhodophyceae. Now let's go to the first one, that is chlorophyceae. Okay. Chlorophyceae, they are green algae. They are unicellular. They are single cellular. Okay, single cell. Unicellular. Colonial. I have already told. Colony means they will stay in group. Colonial. Okay, they are unicellular, colonial, and they can be filamentous. Sign your project. Usually grass, green due to the presence of chlorophyll A and B in chloroplast. Okay, the grass is green due to presence of this pigment, chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. Okay, so they have chloroplast. The chloroplast may be discoid, plate-like, reticulate, cup shape, spiral, or ribbon shape in different species. There are different shapes. Disc-like, plate-like, reticulate means you see the leaf on the leaf network. Then cup shape, spiral, or ribbon shape in different species. So from here you have to know at least that algae chlorophyceae is green algae. The next is chlorophyceae green algae. We have to see most of them have one or more pyrenoid storage bodies located in chloroplast. Pyrenoids contain proteins besides starch. This is very important point. Okay, these are pyrenoids. This is chlamydomonas. This is pyrenoid. Pyrenoid is like a storage body. Okay, pyrenoids contain protein besides starch, so they will store starch and protein. Okay, so write chlorophyceae. Okay, then some algae stores food as oil droplets. They will store food as oil droplets. They have rigid cell wall made up of cellulose and pectose layer. They have rigid cell wall made up of cellulose layer and an outer pectose layer. Outer and inner cellulose. This chloroplast you can see cup shape. The cell wall, they will have two layers. Outer is made up of pectose and inner is made up of cellulose. Pectose and pectin. It's like starch only. Next we have chlorophyceae, green algae. Most of them same point. Example is Chlamydomonas, Volvox, Eulothrix, Pyrogyra, and Cara. So write these examples. Okay, then chlorophyceae. Okay, reproduction, vegetative reproduction by fragmentation or formation of different types of spores. Vegetative reproduction is by fragmentation. You can see fragments. Okay, or formation of spores. See here, spores are formed. Okay, asexual reproduction by flagellated zoospores produced in zoosporangia. See, these are zoospores. This is zoosporangia. These are zoospores, asexual. Sexual reproduction is isogamous, anisogamous, and oogamous. What is isogamous? Same shape of the or same size of male and female gamete. Anisogamous, the male is always smaller, female is bigger. Oogamous is by formation of gametes. Okay. Then pheophyceae. Pheophyceae is brown algae. They are mostly marine forms. Okay. Pheophyceae, brown algae, they are mostly marine forms. They show great variation in size and form. These are all pheophyceae. Okay. Examples is laminaria is very important. Sargassum. Okay. So the range from simple branched filamentous form, example ectocarpus, to profusely branched form, example calves. Okay. Calves. They have chlorophyll A, C, carotenoids, and xanthophyll. So they will have chlorophyll A, chlorophyll C, carotenoids. What will be the color?
Orange.
Orange, because of the word
Carrot.
carrot. And xanthophyll. They vary in color from olive green to brown depending upon the amount of xanthophyll pigment, fucoxanthin. So fucoxanthin pigment gives brown color. You can see some of them are brown color because of this pigment fucoxanthin. Next, food stored is complex carbohydrate called laminarin or mannitol. Okay, the food is stored as carbohydrate called laminarin or mannitol. In the previous one, the food was stored as protein besides starch. But here, the food is stored as laminarin or mannitol. That's why one is called laminaria. One organism algae name itself is laminaria. The other one is fucus, dictyota. These are all algae. If you go to beach, you will see these structures on the sand, beach. Here it comes out. Now, protoplasts contain plastid, central vacuole and nucleus. Okay, they will have vacuole. What is the function of vacuole? To store food. Vacuole is to store food. In previous algae, that is chlorophyceae, what was the storage organ called? It's written. What is the storage organ called? Pyrenoids. But here now you get vacuole. Vacuole where it is present? Also in plant cell. So these are coming close to higher plants, becoming like higher plants. So protoplasts contain plastids. What is plastid? Plast. Which organelle is ending with plast? Chloroplast. So plastid means the color pigment, which gives color pigment. We have chloroplast, we have chromoplast, and leucoplast. Chloroplast, which color it will give? Green color. Chromoplast, in plants, which other colors you can find? Brown, red. Different colors you will find. Where you will find different colors in plant?
Depend upon the location.
But where? Which part? Which means which part of the plant will have different color other than green? Leaf will have green color. Huh? Fruit, flower, flowers of different color. That is because of chromoplast. And leucoplast is colorless. Okay. So they have central vacuole and nucleus. Plant body is attached to the substratum by holdfast and has a stalk type and a leaf-like photosynthetic organs called frond. Okay. So this is holdfast. Okay. This is holdfast. This will be holdfast. Okay. Then the branch is called as stipe and the leaf-like structure is called as frond. Pheophyceae, brown algae. Food is stored again, same. Okay. Reproduction, vegetative reproduction by fragmentation. Asexual reproduction by biflagellate zoospore. Bi means two. Flagella means flagellate. And zoospores means they can move laterally attached. Two unequal laterally attached flagella will be there. Okay. They have two flagella. Sexual reproduction again isogamous, anisogamous and oogamous. Union of gametes will occur in the water and within the oogonium. Oogonium is female part. Gametes are pear-shaped and being two laterally attached to the flagella. They are also attached to the flagella, gametes. you have to know vegetative reproduction by fragmentation, by biflagellate zoospores, isogamous, anisogamous, and oogamous. Next, rhodophyceae is red algae. Okay, the red sea you have heard, no? That is because of this rhodophyceae. They have red thalli. What is thalli? This structure is called as thalli. We don't call them as leaf, stem, or root. They are just like a mass, which is called as thalli. And the pigment is phycoerythrin. Majority of them are marine, especially in warmer areas. They occur in both well-lighted region close to the surface of water as well as deep inside the ocean. Okay. Also on the surface, you will see this brown algae as well as deep in the ocean. Okay. Example is Porphyra and Polysiphonia. Most of them are multicellular. Some have complex organization. Complex organization means will look like some leaf, root, stem. Somewhat like leaf, root, and stem. Okay. Otherwise, it is just one thallus. Now here you will see some sort of leaves, root, stem. Slightly you will feel like they are leaf, root, or stem. The food is stored as Floridian starch, which is structurally similar to amylopectin and glycogen. Amylopectin is one part of starch. So almost similar to starch. Glycogen is the glucose which is stored in humans. Example, Polysiphonia, Porphyra, Gracilaria, and Gelidium. So what is you will get from Gelidium? Gel. Reproduction, fragmentation, spore formation, which is non-motile, oogamous by non-motile gametes. It is complex post-fertilization development. So this is reproduction. Here you have to know they are non-motile gametes. So plants also they are non-motile. So somewhat close to plants. Okay. This is overall comparison. Okay. So for your exam, you have to just study this table. So I'll give you a printout of this table. Okay. Let's compare the first one. Common name, chlorophyceae is called as green algae. Pheophyceae is known as brown algae. Rhodophyceae is called as red algae. Major pigments. In chlorophyceae, they will have chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. In pheophyceae, they will have chlorophyll A, chlorophyll C, and fucoxanthin. Fucoxanthin is the one which gives which color? Brown color. So there will be more fucoxanthin or more chlorophyll? More of fucoxanthin. Then it will leave brown. Chlorophyll A and chlorophyll D in rhodophyceae and phycoerythrin. Which color it will be? Erythrin?
Reddish.
Reddish. Where you have heard this word erythrin? Erythrocytes, RBC are also called as erythrocyte. That word erythrin is from there only. Erythro means red. So they are red. So here also, this should be in more consent compared to chlorophyll A. Then it will look red. Food stored as starch in chlorophyceae, they store food as starch. In pheophyceae, they store food as mannitol or laminarin. In rhodophyceae, they store as Floridian starch. Then cell wall in chlorophyceae is cellulose. Cell wall in pheophyceae is cellulose and algin. And cell wall in rhodophyceae is cellulose. Flagella, there are 2 to 8 equal apical at the apex. Here there are only 2 and here flagella is absent. Habitat freshwater, saltwater, and brackish water. Freshwater, saltwater, brackish, almost both everything will be same. Okay, habitat is almost you can write same because there are few algae which are found everywhere in different types of water. Okay. Next, we have to start is bryophytes. Okay. Now, bryophytes, they are amphibians of plant kingdom. Very important point. What do you mean by amphibians? They can live both in land and water. Now, why they are called as amphibians? Because they will live in soil. They can live in soil, but they need water for sexual reproduction. They need water for sexual reproduction. That is, they have to transfer their gametes using water. They occur in damp, humid, and shaded localities. Now, whatever greenery you are seeing on walls and all, that is bryophyte. Okay, this is actually a zoom picture This is actually what is grown on a wall, compound wall. If you take a zoom picture, this is what you will get. Then bryophytes, body is differentiated than that of algae. Now body now here is differentiated. Body will have leaf, some root-like structure called rhizoid, main axis, then seta, capsule. Body is somewhat differentiated, okay? But in algae, it was all thallus. There was no proper leaf-like structure. There was no root-like structure. Everything was like a mass, and that was called as thallus. In bryophytes, the body is differentiated than that of algae. Means as compared to algae, in bryophytes, you can see somewhat leaf-like structure, somewhat stem, and somewhat rhizome. Stem will be absent. What is completely absent here is what you cannot see. Which are the parts of plant? Leaf, root, stem, flower. So you cannot see flower. Okay, there is no flowering. Flowering you will see later. As we go from algae, bryophyta, pteridophyta, gymnosperm, angiosperm, later you will come across flower. They lack true root, stem, or leaves. Okay, prostrate, erect, and attached to a supreme by multicellular rhizode. There is no true root or leaf or stem. It looks like leaf, but they are not true like leaf. They will not have proper petiole, proper veins. They look like leaf. They possess root-like, leaf-like, or stem-like structure. They have root-like structure is called as rhizode. Leaf-like is the main axis. Sorry, stem-like is the main axis, and leaf-like is leaves. The main plant body is haploid. It produces gametes, hence it is called as gametophyte. This main plant body is haploid. What is haploid? Means they have single set of chromosome. Haploid means they will have single set of chromosome. Now this will produce gametes, male gamete and female gamete, and they are called as gametophyte. Now here you will see two things. One is gametophyte, the other one is sporophyte. That you will see in next time. This is the structure like gametophyte, gamma, this is the structure, this is rhizoid, this is the leaf-like structure. Okay. The sex organ in bryophytes are multicellular. Male sex organ is called as antheridium and produces biflagellate antherozoids. Female sex organ is called as archegonium and produces eggs. Okay. Antheridium with sperm they have said, archegonium with egg. The sperm is called as antherozoids. So this has to meet. They cannot meet with the help of air. They can only meet with the help of water. That's why they are called as amphibians. They can grow on land, but for reproduction they want water. That's why during rainy season you will see all this growing, new plants coming during rainy season. Bryophytes, female again same. Antherozoids are released in water to meet the archegonium. This antherozoid, mostly the male will be released in water, which will go and meet the archegonium, where eggs will be there. And antherozoid fuses with the egg to produce zygote. Okay, there will be production of zygote. Okay. Zygote do not undergo meiosis immediately, but they form a body called as sporophyte. What was the first body? They produce gametes, so they are called as gametophyte. The first male body produce gametes. It is called as gametophyte. The gametophyte, what they will produce? Gametes. What happens with the gametes? They usually fuse. They fuse and they form zygote. Zygote will not undergo meiosis. Now, what will be the chromosomes number in zygote? Will it be haploid or diploid? Initially, what it was? Initially, it was haploid. Okay, haploid. What happens in fusion? Diploid. Fusion means joining. Two haploid will join to form diploid. Okay, so two haploid joins to form diploid. undergo meiosis immediately. Do not undergo meiosis immediately. What you get in meiosis? Haploid or diploid cell? In meiosis, you get haploid cell. Now this is diploid and it is not forming haploid. So the sporophyte, which is multicellular body, will be haploid or diploid? Diploid, because there is no meiosis. So sporophyte is not free living but attached to a photosynthetic gametophyte. Okay, sporophyte is not free living; it is attached to the gametophyte. Here you can see gametophyte, and this is the sporophyte. This will be gametophyte will be single N, means single set of chromosome. This one will have double set of chromosomes. So derives nourishment from the gametophyte. The sporophyte will take nourishment from the gametophyte. Some cells of sporophyte undergo meiosis to form haploid spores. They will form haploid spore by undergoing which type of division? Meiosis. Now these spores germinate to form new gametophyte. What is the chromosome number in gametophyte? Is it haploid or diploid? Haploid. Gametophyte is haploid. So the spores are also haploid. So haploid. The spores are haploid. This haploid spores will give rise to haploid gametophyte. Then importance of bryophyte. This is also asked and very easy to understand. Bryophytes provide food for herbivorous mammals, birds. Okay, bryophytes. Some mosses provide food. They are like helping the grazing animal. Species of sphagnum, a moss, provide peat. It is used as a fuel. It has water holding capacity, so it is used for packaging material for transshipment of living material. Mostly for plant, no. This peat is used to cover the roots. For plant, they will cover the root with this peat. Why? This has water holding capacity. So they can be used for shipment, long shipment. So this will hold the water which is used by the plant while shipment. Okay, moss. They are ecologically important because the role in plant succession on bare rocks, soil. Okay, now this is very important. Now here, if this is rock, okay, from rocks, what you will get? From rocks, what you will get? From rock can get converted to stone. Okay, from stone you can get
tiles and all this thing.
tiles, but stone can be broken down to soil. So this is very important because bryophytes now will first grow on the rock. Once bryophyte grows on the rock, they will break the rock and help in formation of soil. If there is barren rock, you cannot grow any other plant. Which plant will grow? The bryophytes. So bryophytes will grow on this rock and will convert the barren rock into soil. And then once there is soil, what will be able to grow? Plants. The huge plant can grow afterwards. But first there is formation of soil with the help of bryophyte. Mosses along with lichens decompose rock, making the substrate suitable for growth of higher plant. First, they will convert the substrate. They will convert the rock into soil. Once there is soil, then only you can see higher plant. Since mosses are dense mat on the soil, they prevent soil erosion. This is mosses. It forms like a mat. So water cannot easily move inside or move fastly. So soil erosion is prevented. Okay. Bryophytes, you have to study two types. One is liverworts and mosses. Two types of bryophytes you have to study. One is liverworts and mosses. So we'll stop here. This liverworts and mosses will study in next.